Pontiac, I think it's a Grand Prix, I don't know. But misfire, and took it to AutoZone and said there is a injector circuit code. It's already been at the shops. The owner said that he previously paid a shop $1,200 to do whatever work got done, but it's still misfiring and it's sputtering real bad. And I actually had to turn it on 3 times right now and rev it up just so it would stay running. And when she called the shop back and she explained what's still going on with the car, they told her, oh, it's because you need a tune-up now, and it'll be $300 for a tune-up. So let's pull it in and see what's going on. Let me see. This car is rough around the edges.
It's like, what were they trying to get in?
Well, they probably hit something right here. Alright, so first thing I noticed is, it's hard to see, but there is dried up coolant everywhere. She said something about, yeah, they replaced a radiator. So basically, she had a giant coolant leak. As you can see, a new hose right here. Looks like new thermostat housing. So they did cooling system work, $1,200 worth apparently. Alright, so here I got the codes. Engine misfire. Let's go to the top. Injector force circuit. Engine misfire. Evap leak. And maximum adapt long shift. So let's go straight for this injector circuit. Let's see if we have a misfire counter here. Alright, so here goes our misfire data. Indeed, cylinder number 4. It's not going to be ignition, or at least it's not going to be a coil, because this is a waste spark system. So you would have cylinders 4, companion cylinder also misfiring, and we don't got that. And we do have an injector code, so we are going to go towards that. But this car is just rough around the edges. Pouring it into the garage, I could hear all kinds of clunking. Needs suspension work. It needs a wheel bearing. You have to constantly turn it on 2 or 3 times and keep your foot on the accelerator pedal just to keep it running. Alright, so we are tapped into the fuse for the fuel injectors. And you can see we pretty much have a missing spot right there that goes along. So I'm going to assume that's number 4, right? And then we took out injector number 4 and or the connector for it, and put a Nord light on it, and it does not light up. We tried clearing the codes and restarting the car, and it still does not light up. So we have what looks to be a wiring problem, hopefully, and it's not a PCM. Just to show you guys what we should be seeing, I disconnected another fuel injector, and the engine sounds like it wants to stall now. You can see with the Nord light, we're definitely getting a signal to that injector. Obviously this one works, but that's what we should be seeing on number 4, but we're not. Right, so we're back here just, messing with this injector, and then we see this just like tucked in here. What the heck is this? Don't tell me we're not missing a wire over here. Everything's... What is this? Don't tell me this is plugged into a spark plug down there. I don't know, but this boot was literally sitting tucked inside of here like this. Something like that. Okay, so this wire that's not connected to anything on this side, it's number 4. She told me she took it back to the shop that she paid them $1,200, right? And they told her they changed the spark plug. Why? You got codes, you got injector codes. Why are you coming in and changing this? It's just so stupid. Okay, so the other problem is the other end is just hanging. So what they did is, these clips could be a pain in the butt to get to or release. The ones that are holding, the clips that hold the wires. So they disconnected it from the coil. They put a new wire in from the coil to the spark plug, and then they left this thing just hanging here because there's too much of a trouble for them to remove it. So they just left the old wire hanging. That's quality work right there. Just, it makes me sick. So you want to hold that? As you can see, test light is on, so the power feed directly to the injector works just fine. It's the other wire, which is like the command or the signal to turn on the injector. We have nothing. Alright, so here's the wiring diagram for the fuel injectors. We have a 15 amp fuse right up here, and we know this fuse is good, number one, because the car runs, so all of the other fuel injectors are working, and this one fuse feeds all of them. Okay, we also know that the power wire going to the fuse, to the fuel injector right here, there's nothing wrong with it because we tested it and we got power right here. But we don't have ground side switching on this wire. Okay, so all of these wires on a PCM are connector 2. If you look right here, we're gonna have 3 connectors, a blue, a black, and a gray. So connector 2, we have to go for the black connector, and it should be pin or wire number 10 feeding fuel injector number 4. So we're gonna go right to the PCM, and the PCM is located inside the air intake box. And we could go right to the PCM and check to see if we're getting that injector pulse at the PCM. If we are, then that rules out a bad PCM, and we know we just have a wiring issue. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's go check out the car. What I'm going to do is I have a wire connected to that fuel injector, the one that we're not getting a signal from, and we're basically going to do a continuity test. I think it's simple enough, and let's just see if we find something. So if we have no continuity from here to there, then a broken wire. Alright, so this is noise we should be hearing. And I went through each pin right here, not jamming it in, I'm just touching them. And I went through every single one, and we get no continuity in any of them. So now I want to try to get this cover off back here so we could get to the back of the wires. Now, just to check things to see if this is even a valid test, I moved my other wire over to injector number 2. So let's test for continuity. There we go. So we do have continuity from right here at the pin up to injector number 2. But when we do the same exact test for injector number 4, none of these pins have continuity. The thing I'm not liking is the color's not really matching as far as the wires. Let me double check things. So looking at the wiring diagram a little bit more closely, I guess the colors are matching up. I guess the colors are a little bit faded right there, right by the connector, so it's hard to tell. And also, I was counting the wrong pins, but yeah, the wire color coming out of number 2 does match up with the pin number that's on the wiring diagram. So that means the one next to it, which is pin number 10, is like a baby blue wire. That's the one that should be feeding to injector number 4. And let me test for continuity one more time. If we still get nothing, then yeah, we have a broken wire somewhere. I double checked things, and still we have no continuity over here. I went directly for the pin that I know for sure is for that fuel injector. No continuity. The next test is to plug this back in, put the mass airflow sensor back on, basically connect our fuel injectors and start the car up. And we're going to basically back probe that wire and see if we have our signal or our ground coming out of it. If it does, then there's nothing wrong with the PCM and it's just simply a broken wire somewhere. So it was so hard to back probe this, so I had no choice but to pierce the wire. One little pinhole, I'll cover it up with liquid electrical tape once I'm done. But I got my test light here, the car is running. The other end is connected to battery positive. And let's go ahead and poke the wire in the same place, and we should get our injector pulse. There we go. I don't know how well it's picking up, but that's our injector pulse. There's nothing wrong with the computer. we simply have a broken wire somewhere. At this point, it's time to start looking for our broken wire. So we're not going very far. It's just from here to there, right? And the wire harness runs alongside here. The first point of contact, that's what we want to pay attention to or focus on, is points of contact in the wire harness. First one I came across, that is touching the valve cover right there. So let's see, get this to focus. Uh-oh, that's not good. Alright, let's look into that. We're on the right track, people. Here's an update. Got this stuff opened up a little bit more, and we have more than one wire that's compromised. I think we got, what the hell? Jesus Christ, that scared me. Something fell over there. Where am I? Okay. We have, there's like 2 or 3 wires. One of them is definitely, it's the green and black. You see it right here. That's definitely our green and black injector wire. Okay, but we also have a red wire that's broken. See it right here. I don't know, maybe it's hanging. Oh, that just, something just stabbed me. Oh, freak. Maybe the red wires just holding on for dear life. But definitely, there goes our green with black wire. Alright, so let's try to get this fixed. And the Keith tug test. There we go. Just to prove this is gonna work, I just used a jumper wire between the 2 broken wires, and there goes our injector number 4. Boom, that's a fix. So I'm going to disconnect the noise light and plug in the fuel injector, and the engine should start running better. So let me put the camera down for a second. Alright, there we go. Fuel injector is plugged in. Engine's not shaking as much. Sounds better. Now just to finish fixing those wires. So we're all set. The wires have been crimped, heat shrinked, and well protected. Wrapped them up, gave them a few good rounds of electrical tape. And I even zip tied the whole harness to this thing right here to try to keep it away from the valve cover. Hopefully this right here doesn't turn into a future problem. But yeah, so let's take it out for a test drive. Taking the Pontiac out for a test drive. Engine is running nice and smooth. Really happy with it. Definitely sounds like a bad wheel bearing. But that's it for this one, guys. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.